World News of the Week, 29th of July to 4th of August. A compact week in review. Erdogan threatens Israel with military action amid rising tensions. Turkish President Recep Tayyip Erdogan has issued a threat of military action against Israel, drawing parallels to Turkey's interventions in Libya and Nagorno-Karabakh. This comes amid a dramatic escalation in the 9-month conflict between the Israel Defense Forces, IDF, and Hezbollah.
Erdogan, a vocal critic of Israel's military actions in Gaza, made these remarks during a speech praising Turkey's defense industry. He suggested that Turkey might intervene in Israel as it had done in other regions, emphasizing the need for Turkish strength to counter Israeli actions in Palestine.
In response, Israeli Foreign Minister Israel Katz likened Erdogan to former Iraqi President Saddam Hussein, warning that Erdogan could face a similar fate. Katz's comments highlighted the sharp exchange between Jerusalem and Ankara, with Israel warning of severe consequences.
Erdogan's comments come in the wake of a deadly Hezbollah rocket attack on the Druze village of Majdal Shams in the Golan Heights, which killed 12 children. This incident has heightened fears of a broader Israeli-Lebanese conflict and increased regional tensions.
While Turkey's NATO membership makes direct military intervention unlikely, Erdogan's rhetoric has strained relations with Israel, which had been improving prior to the Gaza conflict. The international community continues to scramble to prevent a larger war, as regional instability threatens to escalate further. Southport stabbings and aftermath. A tragic knife attack in Southport, Merseyside, in the UK on Monday morning has left 3 young girls dead and several others injured during a Taylor Swift-themed dance and yoga event. The victims were identified as 6-year-old BB King, 7-year-old Elsie Stancombe, and 9-year-old Alice De Silva Arguia, who died later in hospital. 8 more children were injured, with 5 in critical condition, and 2 adults were also critically injured while trying to protect the children.
Merseyside police responded to a call at 11:50 BST and arrested a 17-year-old boy on suspicion of murder and attempted murder. The suspect, named Axel Rudakobana, is believed to have arrived at the venue wearing a face mask and refused to pay a taxi fare before carrying out the attack. The incident is not being treated as terror-related.
The attack, which took place at the Heart Space Studio, has deeply shocked the community. A vigil was held on Tuesday night, with hundreds of people attending to pay their respects. Tributes have poured in, including from King Charles III, Prime Minister Sir Keir Starmer, and Taylor Swift, who expressed her shock and condolences.
Following the vigil, violent protests have broken out across the country during the week, resulting in serious injuries to several police officers and the destruction of police equipment. The violence is believed to have been instigated by English Defence League supporters.
Venezuelan opposition claims victory amid protests, detentions, and disputed election results. In the wake of Venezuela's recent contested election, opposition candidate Edmundo González and his campaign have claimed a decisive victory over incumbent President Nicolas Maduro, despite the National Electoral Council declaring Maduro the winner. González and fellow opposition leader Maria Corina Machado assert that they have obtained more than 70% of the election's tally sheets, showing González with more than double Maduro's votes. They have called on supporters to remain peaceful and gather to celebrate their claimed victory.
The election, which was among the most peaceful in Venezuela's recent history, saw thousands of people demonstrating across the country, particularly in the capital, Caracas. While most protests were peaceful, clashes erupted between demonstrators and national police, resulting in the use of tear gas and reports of minor violence.
The opposition has accused the Maduro-controlled Electoral Council and ruling United Socialist Party of Venezuela of manipulating the election results. They claim that the ruling party has maintained tight control over the voting system, including restricting opposition observers' access to voting centers. As of Monday evening, the Electoral Council had not released the official tally sheets from the voting machines, raising further suspicions of foul play.
International responses have varied, with countries like the United States and members of the European Union expressing serious concerns about the legitimacy of the announced results. U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken has publicly stated that there is overwhelming evidence of González's victory, urging a peaceful transition in line with the will of the Venezuelan people.
The situation remains tense, with Maduro's government detaining opposition figures and responding to protests with a heavy hand. Human rights organizations report numerous arrests and at least 11 deaths related to the unrest. The international community continues to monitor the situation closely, as the possibility of further violence looms in the aftermath of this deeply disputed election.
Tuareg rebels in Mali display Ukrainian flag after defeating Wagner mercenaries. Tuareg rebels in Mali have reportedly defeated Russian Wagner mercenaries, with an exclusive photo showing the rebels posing with a Ukrainian flag. The image, obtained by the Kiev Post on July 29, signifies the rebel support for Ukraine, which has been actively opposing Wagner mercenaries across Africa.
Andriy Yusov, from Ukraine's main intelligence directorate, HUR, hinted at Ukrainian involvement in a successful operation against the mercenaries, noting that the rebels had received crucial information. The clash occurred in Tinzouatine, near Mali's border with Algeria, resulting in at least 20 Wagner militants killed and others captured.
The Wagner Group, funded by Russia, has been extracting valuable resources in Africa, including gold, to support Russia's invasion of Ukraine. Recent conflicts involving Wagner in Syria and Sudan have also been linked to Ukrainian special forces.
Russian state media claimed that Ukrainian intelligence has been training Tuareg militants and supporting their operations. Over the weekend, HUR allegedly conducted drone strikes on Russian air bases and cyber attacks on Russian financial systems.
The involvement of Ukrainian forces in Africa has led to significant setbacks for Russian interests on the continent, showcasing Ukraine's broader strategic efforts against Russian operations worldwide.
Hamas leader Ismail Haniyeh assassinated in Iran by remote-controlled bomb, escalating Middle East tensions. Hamas leader Ismail Haniyeh was assassinated in Tehran by a sophisticated, remote-controlled bomb, according to multiple reports. The explosion, which occurred early Wednesday in a guest house run by Iran's Revolutionary Guards, also killed Haniyeh's bodyguard. The bomb had reportedly been smuggled into Haniyeh's room 2 months earlier.
American and Middle Eastern officials, cited by the New York Times, assessed that Israel was behind the assassination, which was months in the making. The precision of the attack, which caused minimal damage to surrounding areas and left adjacent rooms largely intact, suggests meticulous planning and execution. The assassination is seen as a significant blow to Hamas and an embarrassment for Iran's security apparatus.
Haniyeh had been in Tehran for the inauguration of Iran's new president, Masoud Pezeshkian, and his death marks a significant escalation in the already tense Middle Eastern conflict. Iran has vowed revenge, while Israel has neither confirmed nor denied its involvement. The assassination follows a series of targeted strikes by Israel, including the recent killing of Hezbollah commander Fuad Shukr and Hamas military leader Mohammed Deif in Gaza.
The assassination of Haniyeh, a key figure in Hamas's international diplomacy, occurs as Israel continues its military operations in Gaza following Hamas's deadly attack on October 7. This incident, along with the recent targeted killings, further complicates ceasefire negotiations and heightens the risk of a wider regional conflict.
Ukrainian drone shoots down Russian helicopter in milestone attack. In a significant development in the ongoing conflict, a Ukrainian first-person view drone successfully shot down a Russian Mi-8 helicopter near Donetsk, marking what may be the first instance of a drone destroying a helicopter mid-air. The small explosive-laden quadcopter, remotely piloted by an operator wearing a virtual reality headset, struck the helicopter as it was taking off, highlighting the growing capabilities of Ukrainian drone operators.
Ukrainian forces have been deploying over 100,000 of these FPV drones monthly along the 700-mile front line, using them to target armored vehicles, artillery, and now, helicopters. The attack underscores the increasing sophistication of Ukraine's drone operations, which have evolved to hit vulnerable parts of Russian equipment with precision.
Despite the complexity of such operations, including the need for signal relays over long distances, this successful strike could signal a new phase in drone warfare, potentially heightening the threat to Russian helicopters in the conflict.
American woman rescued after being chained to tree in Indian jungle. Indian police rescued 50-year-old American woman Lalita Kayi Kumar, who was found chained to a tree in a forest in Maharashtra state, about 280 miles from Mumbai. She claims her Indian husband left her there to die. Locals heard her cries and alerted authorities, who found her emaciated and in poor health.
Kumar, who has psychiatric issues, communicated via a note that she had been without food and water for 40 days and accused her husband of abandoning her. Police have filed an attempted murder case against her husband, named Satish, and are searching for him in Tamil Nadu. The U.S. Embassy has been informed, and the investigation is ongoing.
Countries urge citizens to leave Lebanon amid fears of wider Middle East conflict. Several countries, including the US, UK, and France, have urged their citizens to leave Lebanon immediately as concerns mount over a potential escalation of conflict in the Middle East. This follows the assassination of Hamas political chief Ismail Haniyeh in Tehran and Hezbollah commander Fuad Shukr in Beirut, actions believed to be carried out by Israel. Although Israel has not confirmed its involvement, Iran has vowed severe retaliation.
Hezbollah, the Iran-backed militia based in Lebanon, is seen as a potential key player in any retaliatory action, raising fears of a broader conflict with Israel. In response, the U.S. has deployed additional military assets to the region to bolster Israel's defense.
Diplomatic efforts continue to de-escalate the situation, but the threat of an expanded conflict has led to the suspension of flights from Beirut's airport and increased ticket prices. Despite this, there is no widespread panic among the population.
Hezbollah has already retaliated with rocket attacks on northern Israel, prompting Israeli airstrikes on southern Lebanon. With tensions high and military buildups on both sides, Western countries are preparing for the possibility of evacuations, with the United Kingdom sending extra military and consular support to the region.
The situation remains volatile, with warnings from both Iran and Israel of further military actions, and fears that the conflict could rapidly escalate into a broader regional war.